let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Judith's already there, patiently waiting for me to stop chatting. Feet flat on the floor and have them about a hip's width apart. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. Ears aligned with the shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just imagine you're lengthening your spine. Go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, the jaw, the back of the tongue. The head. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat, the chest and the belly, and all of your limbs. Bring your attention to the breath sensations. Nostrils, chest cavity, thoracic area, and the belly. Be aware of any sensory information in your environment, particularly sound. So just allow all of that to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. Trying to run off and investigate. And then just check in with yourself. How are you doing? Some space in between the thoughts. Just be aware of the flow of your kind of conscious mind. This river of mental moments, just one moment to the next, one mind moment to the next. Don't be a little spacious about what's there. Try not to judge. Just be curious about your mind. And bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, strangers, ones you don't like very much. Remembering these relationships are interchangeable. And regardless of how you feel about one person at any one particular time, they're all equal. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. Meditation this evening, this for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. Because Shrey's not here, I feel a little bit worried about him. So just think of Shrey, everybody in any kind of war zone, really, that's kind of stuck for some reason. You want to leave, but you can't. The airport's closed, borders are closed, ports are closed, no way out. And then also just remember Kimberly. Don't forget Kimberly. She's, more and more going inwards, she said, but she's still on social media occasionally, and then she's also writes messages on WhatsApp, and she occasionally comes to class. But it's now getting too late for her. It's 11 o'clock at night for her in Canada. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify, that we can use to heal ourselves. And it's not that we're needing Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for that kind of higher power. We're doing the work. So we're purifying ourselves, we're healing ourselves by relying upon Vajrasattva's medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long. They're sort of shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful, and they're full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have a little section here on developing compassion. And so in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and just have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Triyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mami Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anorakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam triyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa sutokaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa anorakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anorakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam triyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters your crown quite forcefully. And it fills your entire body, except this time forces up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anorakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anorakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum te. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jida mebowa, sitokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anorakta mebowa, sabosidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sabosidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you just imagine, this happens as instantaneously as when you just flick on a switch and the light comes in a dark room, dispels the darkness. So you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachments, neediness, bitterness, grudges, disappointments, depression, anxiety, jealousy, all of this instantly dispel. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa Sitokaya mebowa Sipokaya mebowa Anorakta mebowa Sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe, Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dina patita, Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida mebowa, Sitokaya mebowa, Sipokaya mebowa, Anorakta mebowa, Sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So we're working at a bit more subtle level here. So you think that nectar flows down, pushes out all the negativities of the body, and the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativities of the speech, and then the light comes and just blasts all of the negativities of the mind. Simultaneously, it's all happening at the same time. So I think then this is completely eradicated, even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. As we all say the mantra again, one last time. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. And just imagine not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So here we just decide, I don't want to harm. Once you've made that decision, everything will follow on from there. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along night after night after night. And we do have some people who are, because of the time difference, they're in Europe and they're doing the practice online in their home country. So they're not necessarily here, but they are doing it in numbers once a month. He's in Belgium. So, rejoice for all the other people who are doing it as well, not just everyone who's here. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. And this determination to try and refrain from harming gives us kind of strength to change, gives us a little bit of a guardrails, bit of a project to do. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so next we just think a little bit about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. With virtues knowing Dharma, auspicious source of all auspiciousness, of all auspicious things, most auspicious, great splendor, glory, good, most prosperous, great reassurance, foremost celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure, abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble Lord of splendor, the greatest granter of all wishes wished for, the highest source of refuge, refuge granting, the fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms. Okay. So let's just have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for the swift discovery of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche and all of your own individual teachers. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Do stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow evening. Okay. Thanks for hosting, Shayla, or Lou, whoever it was. All right. Thank you.